You don't need testimonials, crazy social proof, or a wall of screenshots to sell. If they're on a call with you right now, then congrats, your system already worked. That's your case study. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to close using the system as the case study. And this is something coming from someone who's closed dozens of deals using this exact same method without needing a single testimonial to start. So let's get into it. Now imagine this. You've done the work, you sent the messages, and here you are face to face with a real prospect. They showed up, they're listening, and they're literally experiencing the service in real time. So when they hit you with the classic, do you have any testimonials? Have you done this before? Well, you don't panic. You don't start explaining your life story. You point to the reality they're inside, which is the same system that found you, wrote to you, got your attention, and brought you here is the exact system that I'll use to bring you buyers to you. So what this means is that they are not asking for proof. They are the proof. The system already showed it reaches the decision makers, it gets the replies, it makes their introductions, it creates opportunities of literally thin air. That's the case study happening live. And my recommendation is that you do not need to justify yourself. Don't defend your existence. You anchor them back to what just happened by saying, you're a decision maker, you're not easy to reach, yet you're here. Why? Well, because the system I built works. So you're shifting the frame from hope to evidence, from possibility to reality. And the beauty is you didn't have to show a single screenshot. You just leveraged the only proof that actually matters. A real human with authority took action. That's the foundation, and that's how you close your very first clients without testimonials, without clout, without pretending you're someone you're not. Now, I know you're thinking, Saad, well, what if they say that the system got you on a call with me, but what about my buyers, our industry, our market? They're different, right? Well, you better believe that I have the exact script to crush this objection, okay? So you just want to use these 4 steps. Step 1 is you want to validate and redirect, which means when they say, or when they hit you with, well, the system got you on a call with me, you said that you're going to replicate the same success. For me, well, my buyers are different. Our industry is different. All you want to do is, like I said, step 1, validate and redirect by saying, okay, you're right. Your buyers are different titles, different pains, different language. Here's what isn't different. They're human, right? They check their inbox. They respond when something is relevant. They take calls when they're curious, just like you did, right? Step 2 is you want to show them the mirror. And you want to say, think about it. You're the exact type of person your buyers are. A decision maker, busy, skeptical, getting pitched constantly. If this system cut through your noise and got you here, well, it's going to work for people exactly like you. And by the way, this is exactly how I bypassed the objection of, do you have any case studies when I first got started? And I thought I'd share it with you guys because maybe you are in the same spot and you're wondering, well, I don't have any case studies, I don't have any social proof. Well, you do. Just you watching this, you do have social proof, okay? Step 3 is you want to break down the mechanics. So you want to say, you showed up because I created enough curiosity to earn 30 minutes. That's not industry specific. That's just effective sales systems. Exactly what you're watching right now, right? Dear viewer, operator. And yes, it's customizable to your specific needs, but the bones, the structure is the same one sitting in front of you right now. And the last step is you essentially want to flip it back on them. And I'm going to explain to you what this means. So you want to say your prospects aren't fundamentally different from you because if they respond to clear value and relevant outreach, exactly what my sales system did, right? We already have our answer. And if they don't respond to anything, well, that's a different conversation about product market fit. But my guess, they're a lot like you, which means what worked to get you here will work to get them on a call with you. Now, what is product market fit? Well, product market fit is essentially the product or the offer that whatever prospects or whatever company has, okay, that they provide, okay? And usually, if someone or like a business doesn't have product market fit, well, they're not going to get customers, okay? Whatever they do, whatever they run ads, etc., because their product simply just is not sellable. People don't want their products. When you mention this, I'm going to explain why when you mention this, kind of like makes you instantly close deals. And the reason why is because the line, well, that's a different conversation about product market fit, but my guess, they're a lot like you. The reason why it's crucial because it removes you from the hot seats, okay? Because you're no longer defending your system, you're questioning whether their offer is the problem. And most decision makers will immediately want to defend their product, obviously, right? Which means they're now mentally siding with you. Okay. And the next thing is that it reframes the entire conversation. Now they're not evaluating you anymore. They're evaluating their own business. And if they believe in what they are selling, which obviously, since they are a decision maker, they do, right? If they didn't, they wouldn't be a decision maker, obviously. So they have to concede that the sales system will work. It has to work because obviously they have a good product. So you kind of like just say it unconsciously. So it's a forced, what I like to call a forced checkmate, framed as a casual observation. And the beauty is that you said it so smoothly that they don't even feel manipulated. You just made them think, which is exactly what a decision maker actually respects. Okay? And that line alone could actually close deals, by the way. Like just this line can actually close deals, and I like use it all the time. And also my sales reps, if you guys don't know, within my $180K a month sales agency, I train sales reps. And this is kind of like the same thing that I tell them to say. And the cool part is I share it with you guys. You can kind of like get the source of the knowledge, right? Which is the entire point of making these videos. Okay. Now there might be other objections that you might that you guys might have, and we're gonna tackle them today, all of them. And I'm also gonna give you like a cheat sheet to kind of like read it before your sales conversation. Okay. So what if they say, well, how do I know you didn't just get lucky? Or is this actually sustainable, right? That's a real objection, okay? So you want to say you're essentially just one data point, but you're not the only one. The reason we're here isn't because something random happened, right? So there's a repeatable process behind this, and I've used it multiple times to create the exact same outcome, okay? Which is you getting on call. So the system finds the right people, reaches out to them in the right way, and starts real conversations. And because we can repeat those steps as many times as needed, the results don't rely on luck. There's no such thing such as luck, okay? So they come from consistency. If this was just a one-off, I would be just as skeptical as you, but the fact that you are here right now is evidence of a process that already works, and one we can continue applying to your business, okay? So that's how you bypass this. How do I know you didn't just get lucky, or is this actually sustainable? Now, the next objection, okay, which is going to be, okay, but how quickly we will know this actually works, which is totally valid. They're going to be like, okay, I don't want to waste time or look bad internally within my team. Okay, and it's totally fair. Nobody wants to slow invisible progress. So what I tell them, and this is what you should tell them, the whole point of the system is to validate quickly. We're not waiting months for something theoretical to kick in. We'll be building you the system immediately, gathering real data and using the first signals to guide decisions. You'll know very early if you're moving in the right direction because replies, both positive and negative, give us truth fast. So you're not committing to a long experiment, you're committing to a short proof cycle that builds confidence as it goes. And because we stay close to the data, we don't guess, we adapt and improve in real time, so we reduce risk instead of amplifying it. Okay, now let's talk about the cheat sheet, okay, that I'm going to leave you guys. I'm going to walk you through it. So this is kind of like a closing cheat sheet, which is very, very powerful. So this is kind of like my recommendation. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is always try to close same call. Contrary to probably believe they're going to be like, well, just send them a proposal, hope for the best. No, you don't want to do this because you're an operator. Okay, so always try to close same call, have your proposal ready, Stripe link, contract, everything. Okay, I'd recommend you use Stripe. If you don't want to use Stripe, that's totally cool. Just use a bank wire, whatever makes sense to you. Okay, and the reason why you want to do this, okay, is momentum dies between calls. The second they say, let me think about it, or just send me a proposal, just like a polite brush off. So you've lost control, this one, and usually their inbox fills up and doubts creep in. So you don't want to have that. Sometimes a competitor reaches out. Life happens, okay? So the version, you just got to keep in mind that the version of them that's sitting on the call with you right now, right freaking now, is the most brought in they'll ever be. Okay, so strike while the iron is hot. Okay, Saad, can you stop being a bouncer? Well, Some things just never change, right? So you want to strike while the iron is hot, like I said. If they're ready, close them. If they need to see the number, show them live. They want to start to take payment now. Never leave money on the table because you weren't prepared, because it's just sloppy, okay? And then the second thing is assume the sale. Don't ask, are you interested? What do we start? It's just dragging the conversation, okay? So if they're interested, just assume the sale. Next steps. So you don't want to ask questions like, what do you think? Or does this make sense? Because this invites what? Hesitation. So they give the prospects permission to stall. Instead, you want to operate as the decision is already made. Operate as the wish is already fulfilled. Just like Neville Goddard, feeling this is secret. He said, assume the wish fulfilled. It's already happened. It's not in the future now. So operate as the decision is already made and you're just handling logistics. So you want to say, so if we can kick this off next week, does Monday or Wednesday work better for your team? Because now it forces them to either commit or surface a real objection that you can handle, not just hide behind this politeness, okay? And the third thing is you want to handle objections immediately. Never say, I'll send you more info on that, okay? They mention budget, timing, or like internal approvals, and you brush past it, that objection obviously will kill the deal later. We're not there to address it. So tackle it heads on in the moment. Let's talk about the budget right now. Let's talk about the thing that scares everyone, right? The investment. What does that look like for you? So get it out in the open, resolve it, and move forward. Use time scarcity. Okay, so you want to say, okay, I've got X slots this month and we're fully onboarding by date, even if you don't, okay? I used to say this before, even if I didn't, okay? Because decision makers, in my experience, they respect time constraint. If you're always available, you're not in demand. And this just applies to everything, relationships and everything. Like the person who's always there, obviously they don't have the perceived value. Okay, they don't have that value. But for the person who's not always there, well, now we once he's there, well, we appreciate it and we want him to be there. Okay. So if you have limited bandwidth and they need to decide now or wait until next month, well, it's going to create urgency without being manipulative. Okay, which is pretty normal in any sales conversation, right? Or any conversation in general, in life, okay, in general. Now, let's talk about the next thing, which is fifth thing. Keep the offer stupid simple. One deliverable, one timeline, one investor. If they have to think too much, obviously, like if you confuse, you lose. Like I always say, confusion just makes you lose deals. So you don't want to get them to default or like use the default answer of let me think about it, okay? Because you always want to be simple because simplicity reduces risk. And then what you want to do is you want to make it stupid easy to say yes. What does that mean? Well, you want to remove friction at every step. What I recommend is use Stripe and Pandadoc. So Pandadoc is like my proposal system that I use. You can easily integrate it with Stripe. Stripe is just the best payment processor. So just use Stripe. Okay, because I mean, at the end of the day, you're starting a real business. So you just use Stripe. And you have to understand that the more steps between yes and payment, the more chances they have to back out. So pre-fill the contract, send a Stripe link. They can click on 30 seconds. Reason why I said again, Pandadoc is integrated with Stripe. They sign the proposal, get redirected to Stripe. Boom, you paid. That's it. And then you want to offer to onboard them immediately. The harder you make it to start, the less likely they are to finish. Your job is to turn I'm ready to like I'm paid, with zero obstacles in between. And the seventh thing is silence is your weapon after the ask. Whoever speaks first loses. Obviously, everybody knows this. Whoever speaks first loses. So after you ask for the sale, you don't want to like fill in the void. You don't want to fill in the silence. Just shut up, let them process, because the discomfort that you feel, trust me, in silence, they feel it 10 times harder, trust me. So you don't want to be like most salespeople, because most salespeople panic, or usually not just salespeople, people in general, humans, like when there's like a void or like there's silence, they try to fill it. Now, you don't want to do that. You want to stay in the center, right? And just let the silence just carry everything. Let the silence do the work, right? So you don't want to panic, start talking, because it's going to give them an easy out. Instead, hold the silence, let them sit with the decision, and more often than not, you will notice that they will talk themselves into it. They will do it, but you have to let the silence do the work. Let the knife do the work, right? And last thing is end every call with a clear next step, no ambiguity. So always like next step. When do we get started? Let's do the kickoff X, Y, and Z. Clear next steps all the time. So you don't want to end with like, sounds good, I'll follow up next week. Now you've lost, okay? So they will ghost you. Instead, We're starting Monday. I'll send the onboarding docs tonight, and we'll have our first check-in Wednesday at 2 p.m. Sounds good? Again, clear action, clear timeline, clear accountability. There's no room for drift, okay? So that's my cheat sheet for you guys here. You can essentially just copy and paste this and just get up and running yourself. So hopefully you guys found value in this one. I'm going to leave you this document in the description. Like I always say, get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.